What's going on, guys? The Gemmy Fan here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and what you're looking at here is yet another brand new for 2017 Gemmy Halloween product, which is also known as the Animated Skull Radio. Now, you may look at this and think it's exactly the same as the previous radio that they've been selling at Target for the past 2 years. It's not. It's a lot different. But there's a really neat function to this radio, or I'd say a slight modification that you can do to this radio if you so please. If you don't feel like doing it, that's fine. But if you would like to get better sound quality out of this thing, I would highly recommend doing so. But before I get onto that, let's check out the box. It says Animated Skull Radio. This also retails for $24.99, as well as the clock, which is also 25 bucks. It's kind of expensive, but you know, you get what you pay for. There's no doubt about that. You get what you pay for. Like, this is completely worth it. And the modification you can do is worth it. It makes it worth even more than 25 bucks, in my opinion. But it says Animated Skull Radio, speaks spooky phrases, lights up sound, emotion activated. And this radio and the skull and the face-out clock were the only two pickups I made at home today. But I did get something cool at Big Lots, which I'll show in a little bit. But yeah, great detail on the product so far. As you can see in the middle, you got kind of a skull platform there to let you know that there's probably going to be a skull there. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. The quote volume or tuner dial can be moved in both positions to go to different channels. Basically, it has like 3 or 4 different songs that plays, and then that's pretty much what it does. But it's really neat. It's really cool and animated, and I like how it has several options for different songs and stuff, and it doesn't just play one single song. It definitely makes it a lot more interesting. So we'll look at the side of it now. Not much to the side or the back. But you may notice here that there are 2 speaker holes. You see the little tiny speaker hole at the bottom there, and then up top you see this gigantic speaker hole. And now keep in mind that speaker hole is bigger than a standard speaker like you would find in a snowflake spinner. It's actually a couple inches bigger in diameter. It's about the size of a life-size speaker, if you so will. That's basically how big it is, if not bigger than that. So what you can do with this is that you can, if you so please, once I say again, you can easily just remove this tiny little speaker here, because that's all it comes with originally. It doesn't give out any bass, no nothing. It's more or less kind of like ear-piercing sounds when you use the original speaker. But you can get a speaker this size, which is about $8, and I'll show you a little clip after this video of how big the speaker actually is, and it'll show me putting it in there. But once you put this thing in here, man, it gives out the most bass I've ever heard out of a Gemmy Halloween small product like this. And it actually sounds like an authentic radio. So I just like to thank Gemmy personally for putting that option there. So if you would want to, you could easily install a larger speaker. And it's the same amperage as a small speaker, it just produces more sound and more bass. So with that being said, this thing has a lot of bass to it. I've already done that modification, so you guys will get to see you'll get to hear the full effect of this thing. And it is also sound and motion activated, but there's really no use in doing that. So we will just turn it on using the dial on front. So without further ado, we will demonstrate it for you. Again, really cool, guys. I mean, you could tell. I don't know if you can tell through through watching this video, but if you're a person, guys, it puts out an unbelievable amount of bass and an unbelievable amount of amperage out of this thing. It's great. It's really cool. it's just a really clever addition that they made to this, and I'm very glad I took advantage of that and put a brand new speaker in there, because that particular song right there, if you had it on the normal sized tiny little speaker that's added in there, it's more of an ear piercing sound than you know, a scary sound or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's just it actually sounds like a vintage radio. I just can't get over the fact that, and the funny thing is that the size of the speaker that's actually in here is the size that would go on a traditional radio. That's what's funny. As you can see, it looks amazing in the dark. The entire radio illuminates when it's in the dark. I think I skipped over a song. There we go. And we'll play it one last time. And there you have it, guys, for the brand new 2017 animated skull radio. Again, highly recommend picking one of these up because it's definitely a pretty good high quality animatronic. And you know what's even cooler about the board is that it actually is connected by harnesses. So if you would want to disconnect the board to do any work to it, if you even had to do work to it, all you had to do was just disconnect the harnesses to do so. If you wanted to do any like extra modifications or whatever. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.